Many people, including me, spend years choosing everyone else. And we choose approval, expectations, kind of good relationships, but at the same time, they are not good, they are spoiled. We choose comfort of being accepted while slowly abandoning ourselves. I want to reflect on this topic today. I want to reflect on how it's really important to choose yourself. I will share my own opinion, my personal stories. So, let's get started. Why self abandonment creates inner pain? This is a really simple answer. So, many people are taught to please others first, to avoid conflicts, to adapt constantly. And at first it may look kind or even responsible, but over time it often creates exhaustion, resentment, and inner pain, of course, because every single time when you abandon yourself, you create inner conflict. And self abandonment happens when we repeatedly ignore what we want, what we feel, ignore our values, just in order to gain approval, in order to please others, in order to avoid conflict. And it happens every single time when we say yes instead of saying no, when we stay silent, when we want to say something, or when something hurts us, or we just keep it inside of us, or we just live by others' expectations instead of living by our own truth. All of these things, they create inner tension, inner pain, of course, just because you don't live your life, because your actions and your real needs are in a position. That is all. And it happened to me almost 4 years ago, when I decided that my second marriage is going to be absolutely different from my first one. Of course, I didn't want to make the same mistakes that I think I made in my first marriage. In my first marriage, I was a man. We changed roles with my ex-husband. I ruled everything, I controlled everything, I decided everything, where we go, what we buy, who and where works, and everything. So I've decided that I'm not going to do the same thing in my second marriage, and my husband is going to be the one who brings the bacon to the family. That is a really good idea when you know each other pretty well. I think I knew my husband because we were friends for a long time, but I didn't know him as a husband. And this way I made a mistake when I gave him the whole control, especially in finance. I didn't know that he lives this way, like we have only this day and we don't need to worry or think about our future. And this problem is only in finance field. Every single time when he wanted to buy something, even if the purchase is very expensive, I said, okay, you can buy it. Okay, you can take a loan. Okay, you can do this or that, even though I understood that it's not really good, that it's not going to be okay, and we are going to be broken, in debt. I knew it. I knew it from the very beginning, but anyway, I betrayed myself. I couldn't say no to my husband. All the time I said yes. I stayed silent. And after every single time, after saying yes instead of saying no, I felt worse, worse, and worse. And of course, I created inner pain by suffering, by betraying myself, by not being strong enough to say no, because I was really scared of being like stronger than my husband, of being wiser than my husband. I don't know why I've decided that he's going to be the best person in our family. But anyway, I've decided like that. And I suffered not because of the others, not because of him, but because I left myself. And when I was tired of not choosing myself, I've decided to do opposite. And at the beginning, I thought I was becoming selfish. But there is a big difference of being selfish and not choosing yourself. And I confused between self-respect with selfishness. Selfishness means using others without any regard for them. But choosing yourself means absolutely opposite. You honor your limits, you honor your beliefs, you take responsibility for your life. At first, you do this. You not say that you are going to solve this problem. No, now I am responsible for this kind of problem. Now I am responsible for my life. You stop sacrificing your well-being. And this is the difference of being selfish and being self-respect. And then I've decided that if I have like healthy, normal, strong boundaries, they will protect my peace. And I started to build my boundaries. I told my husband what behavior I accept, what behavior I don't accept, where my responsibility ends and where other people's responsibility ends or starts. So these points, they are very, very important in order to build your boundaries. You need to understand where other people's responsibility starts or ends, where is your responsibility starts or ends, and where are your limits, where are your boundaries. In my case, I told my husband that now I'm not going to be responsible for kind of earning money, but of course I earn money. I'm not going to be responsible for like basic things. You are the one who needs to bring the bacon to the family, and you have to cover all of these basic things like food, bills, emergency payments and purchases. You have to understand how to save money, how to spend them wisely. It's really, really important. So, and I said that I'm going to be responsible for earning money, for saving them for, like, for example, for traveling or for buying a very like expensive but things that we really need. Because when I didn't do this, our income wasn't even income. We didn't have enough money. We just lived from salary to the salary, and sometimes we borrowed money. And I didn't like it. It's not normal when you take a loan, when you don't have enough money to pay, for example. It's not normal. This way, you're going to live somewhere deep inside, on the bottom of this life. So I built my boundaries. I told him about my limits, about my responsibilities, what I accept, what I don't accept. And I was so scared of doing this because I thought that he's going to argue with me, he's going to maybe scold me or whatever. I don't know why I've decided that he's going to be like that. But he said, okay, let's do it. It's pretty wise. And I'm so grateful that I have my husband. He's a very understandable person. And this way I started to respect myself, and I changed our life and our financial field. It's getting better. It's not perfect. No, we need to take time because we made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. And that is why we just need to get used to living this way with new rules. I will tell you more. I have my best friend, and she did absolutely the same with her husband. They had some kind of the same situation in financial field, yes, but they also have different problems. And when she claimed her husband that she is not going to be responsible for this, but she will be responsible for that. When she said almost the same things to him, so they decided to divorce. You can say that it's bad, but no. We had the same situation with finance in our families. We had the same conversation with our husbands, but we did completely different, completely opposite actions. We still live with my husband. They divorced, but result is the same. We are both happy right now. We chose ourselves. Finally, we chose ourselves, and now we are happy. So what can happen when you stop betraying yourself? Your life is going to change slowly, but it's going to change, and your inattention decreases, your confidence increases, your decisions become clearer. I can't pronounce it correctly. And peace becomes like more stable. It comes into your life and it stays there. Not all the time, but anyway. So every single time when you choose yourself, your life changes, and it changes in a good way. And right now, because I chose myself, because I built my boundaries, now I feel safe. I feel peace, not every single day, but anyway. My husband found more creative ways to earn more money, to have more income, and our relationship becomes stronger every single day. My friend, she did the same, but now she is free. Yes, she divorced, but now she's free. Now she has enough money for herself, for travelings. She doesn't need to think about extra hours of work in order to pay bills. Now she is free, she's happy. One situation, same conversation, different opposite actions, but the same result. We are both happy, and our lives changed, and changed a lot in a good way. And now I just want to give you some kind of practice that will help you to start choosing yourself. Don't think that you're selfish. You're not selfish. You just start to live your life. You just started to take responsibility for your choices, to choose yourself and take responsibility for everything that you are going to say. And if somebody is offended by your words or your actions, these are their problems. This is not your problems. So first of all, you have to take definitely deep breath. You have to take pause. If you want to say no, you have to say no. If you don't say no, you're going to have a lot of tension and resentment and everything else. So just pause. Start to speak honestly in small ways. You have to protect your time, your energy. This is your life. They are not going to leave instead of you. You, the one who lives your own life. And of course, accept discomfort. It's going to be very, very discomfortable at the beginning, but it's worth it. It's worth it, believe me. Choosing yourself may disappoint others, but it's their problems, not yours. This is their responsibility, not yours. Choosing yourself, it's not rejecting others. It's refusing to reject yourself. When you stop abandoning your needs, peace returns. When you build boundaries, respect grows. When you honor yourself, relationships change. And you need to remember that. So, that's all for today. I hope I gave you some food for thought. I shared my own experience, how it worked in my life, how it worked in my best friend's life. And see you later. Bye.